Let the king of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. You are good, good, Lord. 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 Let the King.
Every other year, the high school juniors and seniors have the opportunity to participate in an international mission trip. My emphasis in missions as youth minister is to involve all of our teens in missions on three different levels: the local level, the national level, and the international level. At the local level, we ask, how can we serve and love the people in and around Leander and the greater Austin area? These include service projects like working at Central Texas Children's Home, feeding the homeless in Austin, and hosting community picnics here at the church building. At the national level, we ask, how can we serve and love the people in our own country? These mission events include our yearly mission trip to Camp Blessing and disaster relief trips whenever needed. And lastly, at the international level, we ask, how can we serve and love the people in a context and culture that is vastly different from our own? In the past, we've gone to Honduras, but because of the political unrest towards the end of last year, we had to look at other options. So after visiting with parents in Benicio Montes de Oca, we decided to go and serve alongside God's people in the city of Cuenca, Ecuador. We went in July of this year, and it was a really great trip that made an impact on all of those who went. Our main goal with this trip was to support and encourage the local congregation and serve alongside them. We partnered with the church to put on a vacation Bible school for all the local children. We helped prepare and pass out food to people in a low-income part of the city. We visited and put on a puppet show at a local hospital for children suffering with cancer. We visited members in their homes. We offered encouragement to the church and the youth group. And we took nearly 100 kids to a park to fly kites that we spent all week working on, all the while instilling the Word of God on their hearts. We had some interesting cultural experiences along the way. We learned about Ecuador's rich history when we went and visited an Incan ruin site called Inga Pirca. We learned about the Cañari people and the Incan civilizations that lived in Ecuador for thousands of years. We also got to try guinea pig for the first time. It actually wasn't that bad. Not a lot of meat, but it was pretty good.
My favorite part of the trip was seeing the culture of the people. Since the U.S. is such a melting pot, it's neat to see a culture that just overcomes the whole country, as well as trying a lot of the new foods.
It was really cool to see how in other cultures they worship in a different way, but with the same dynamic. They're still singing and putting themselves into it. So it's really cool to see how they worship the same way, but with their own unique twist to it.
The favorite part about the trip was getting to shop in a market with the local youth group. It was fun. I don't know.
With all the things we experienced, the work that we did, and the things that we learned along the way, I still think one of the best things that our group did during our time there wasn't so much the work, but rather it was the relationships that we formed with the people there.
I think the local youth group was very welcoming to us. The first few days were a little bit awkward because we didn't speak the same language, but most of us got to know Francisco really well during the first few days because he knew English. Then towards the middle of the week, I started getting to know some the rest of the youth group who only spoke Spanish, and we started off by playing ping pong together and volleyball and foosball, and it was really interesting how they were helping me get better at ping pong without even speaking to me. It was all just hand movements, and eventually we started connecting more because one of the guys in the youth group started pulling out Google Translate, and that's how we communicated for the last few days that we got to hang out with them.
It was really fun meeting all the people in the youth group because you'd be talking different languages and doing the same activity, and you would somehow just understand each other and be able to make sense of what the other one was trying to say. Especially just hanging out, you would get to know them in a way that didn't have to use language, which was really neat.
I just grew really close to the people who we went with, but also some of the people in the youth group, like Francisco. But I especially grew close to my good friend Mandy, and we spent so much time together, and we journaled together at night, and we just I feel like our relationships, not only with Mandy but with everyone that I was with, grew closer, not only just friend-wise but spiritually too. So it was cool to have that experience of getting to grow closer to your friends with God.
Your gifts and offerings on Mission Sunday last year allowed these teenagers the opportunity to see God working in incredible ways in the lives of His people thousands of miles away. Because of you and your generous gifts, I really believe you helped grow and strengthen the faith of those who went and got to experience this trip. So from all of us who went, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.